Hello, my name is Scebloom, and for the next few minutes I'll be speaking on the topic of the competitive firm's short-run and long-run supply curve. Economists classify markets into four basic categories: perfect competition, monopoly, monopolistic competition, and oligopoly. We'll be talking about the first of these models, perfect competition. It's not a very realistic model. There are few markets that actually qualify as perfectly competitive. However, there are some that come fairly close. And economists like to study this model as a benchmark for the perfect ideal performance of a market. It's also the simplest of the four market structures to model and understand. So naturally, students begin their study of markets with perfect competition. Now, among the assumptions behind this model, first, the good that's being produced is a homogeneous one, like tomatoes or wheat. So consumers do not prefer the product of one firm over another. Next, there are a great many suppliers in this market. Each firm is too small relative to the market as a whole to have any influence over the market price. We say that each firm is a price taker, not a price maker. We also assume that each firm has one overriding goal: to maximize its profit, the income of the business owner. Now, this may seem quite obvious and easy to remember, but it's surprising how often it's forgotten. A firm is not going to try to maximize its production, or its sales, or even its revenue, but its profit, which means it must look at its revenue and its costs. The difference between them is what the firm wants to maximize. What we generally assume about cost in perfect competition is that it's increasing. Each additional unit of production costs a little bit more than the previous one to produce. In other words, we have increasing marginal cost. Now, the firm's production or supply decision is very simple. It wants to set the price that it receives equal to marginal cost. If the price is above marginal cost, that is a unit of output that's worth producing. Say the price a firm receives is $5 and the marginal cost of a unit is $3. The firm wants to produce it. It adds $2 to its profit. Maybe the next unit costs $3.10 to produce. Well, that adds $1.90 to the firm's profit. From there, the firm's desired production goes up and up and up until the marginal cost rises to meet and equal the $5 price. Price equaling marginal cost. Again, there's the optimum production point or supply of the firm. If you draw it in a simple diagram with price on the vertical axis and quantity in the horizontal, you have an upward sloping curve, the supply curve. It shows that as the price goes up, the quantity the firm is willing to supply goes up. In fact, the supply curve is the marginal cost curve of the firm, above some certain minimum price, below which the firm may as well shut down because the price is too low. Now, short and long run. In economics in general, a short run is a time horizon during which some variables are fixed. Some things which are capable of changing are not allowed to change. For one reason or another, they're stuck. In the model of perfect competition, some of these stuck variables in the short run include the firm's technology, the firm's capital stock, and its overhead costs. In the short run, a firm must pay, say, its secretarial help, warehouse and office space, and other fixed costs which cannot be avoided even if the firm shuts down. But in the long run, everything is variable. Nothing is fixed. In the long run, a firm can, in particular, change the amount of capital it's using along with its labor. The result of this is that we have a long run marginal cost and long run supply curve, which is flatter, or as we say, more elastic than the one I described previously. On the same diagram, it would be a flatter line. And it shows that a firm has more flexibility in the long run, and its response to a price change is greater. Say we start at a certain price and the price goes up. In the short run, a firm will increase its quantity supplied, and in the longer run, it will increase it by more because it will find a more optimal capital stock to be producing with. So greater flexibility in the long run. And to put it in reverse, suppose the price drops. The firm may continue producing in the short run even if it's making a loss, so long as that loss is less than its fixed costs. But in the long run, if the price stays where it is, the firm will exit the market and stop producing. And that's the basic story of the firm's supply. The next topic would be what happens in the overall market. Well, that's a subject for another lecture. Thank you very much for listening.